Another Leetcode problem 885, spiral matrix 3. So you start at the cell R start and C start of our rows times columns grid. So we are giving a grid. Let me just make a drawing. So if we are giving a grid like this, so the rows and column, and we're gonna have a start place maybe here or maybe some other places. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna do the clockwise operation. Basically, it's gonna be like this. Yeah. So here inside of the grid, I'm sorry. Let me just remake the drawing. Yeah, because it is clockwise. So for example, if we are starting at this position, we're gonna face to the east, and then we're gonna do the clockwise. So this is the east, and then we're gonna do the clockwise here. This is one step. So in order to make it like a spiral, so if we want to go to the west position, we have to go to 2 steps instead of 1 step. Otherwise, it's going to be an infinite loop. So this is 1 step, this is another step. And then we're going to continue to go like this. Yeah. And we're going to continue to go. Let me just prepare more drawing. But what happens if we go outside of the boundary? So for example, here, this one is okay. It is still inside here, maybe for here it will go so maybe here, yeah, and let's make it here, and then from here it will go out of the boundary. So what's gonna happen? It doesn't matter, because for us we just want to start from this position. So for example, this is 1 steps, and here is 2 and then here, I'm sorry, this is a 2, and then here is 3 and 3. Yeah, so what happens for here? It is 4 and 4 steps. So for here it is 5 and 5 steps. So now what we see? We see here this is 1, the same direction here and here. Here is 3, here is 5, 5. It has some patterns, and here is 2, and here is 4. Yeah, so if let's just continue, this is 5, so here gonna be 6, and this gonna be 6. So here gonna be 7, and here gonna be 7. As we can see, this is odd, and this side it is even, 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 5, and 7. Even if it goes out of the boundary, it doesn't matter. We're gonna continue on this kind of a spiral operation. We just want to check if this point is inside the grid or not. Definitely, it is easy to check. Yeah, because for this position, if it is inside the grid, definitely we're gonna put it inside our result. If it is not, we will not put it inside. So now, if you understand this kind of drawing, basically we can start programming. Definitely we're gonna control on the 4 directions. So for example, if it go to the east, if it go to the south, it's gonna be step of 1, and for the next, it's gonna be step of 3, 5, and 7. If it is go to the west, if it is go to the north, it's going to be like the even steps. It's going to be 2, 4, and 6. So this is what we're going to do inside our programming. So we're going to make it easy and try to program like this. Yeah. So the idea is that if all the position is inside the grid, and we want to put it inside our final result. If it is not, we will not put it. And if the length of the result array, so we're going to use a result array. If result array going to collect all the points, if the length of the result array equal to rows times column, so definitely we're going to return our final answer. Yeah. Now let's just try to solve it. For me, I'm going to use R and C to represent rows and column, just to save some lines of code. Yeah, and then I'm gonna check. I'm going to prepare a final result. Let me just use a tuple, use an array, and inside array it's going to be tuple. It's going to start from the beginning, R start and C start. Now I'm going to check it. So if R times C equal 1, so this means yeah, it is just 1 cell, and we're going to return that number, so it's going to be the result. Now, if it is not, so we're going to use our method to find the final answer. So this is the method. So we're going to use a spiral. Yeah, we're going to use a spiral like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 until we find the final answer. But how many spirals? Do we know how many spirals? So for example, if this is a line, So definitely we're gonna use the speed rules like that, or maybe some other values. It will go to this place, and then it will go to this place. It's gonna be really big, but it's gonna be the maximum of the row and column. Yeah, it is the maximum of row and column times 2, because this is gonna be the highest length. So we're gonna use this kind of method. Yeah. So let's just use a for loop. So for k inside of the range, we're gonna start from one step, and 2 times the maximum of RNC, and our step gonna be 2. Yeah, so this means for each of the step, it's gonna be something like 1, 3, and 5. So if this is 1, we're gonna use 1, 1, and 2, 2. So I'm gonna program later. So if it is a step with 1, definitely we're gonna use 1, 1, 2, 2. This means 1, 1, 2, 2. So if it is a 3, we're gonna use something like 3, 3, 4, 4. So this is gonna be 3, 3, and 4, 4. So in this way, we're gonna continue to check all the different cases. Yeah. So if it is inside of the range, what's gonna be the next step? Next step is that we're gonna check all the possible directions. So for dr, dc, and the step. So the step gonna be the k. So here we're gonna use dk. Yeah. So this dk is for each of the step. So inside we're gonna use array, and inside it's gonna be 4 directions. So first it will go to the east. It's gonna be 0, 1, and with k step, and then it's gonna go to the south. It's gonna be 1, 0, and with k step. Next, yeah, so this means that it will go to the east, go to the south, and next it go to the west and north. It's gonna be 2 steps, and let's just finish that. It will go to the west. If it go to the west, it's gonna be 0, -1. It will go to the west with k plus 1, and it's gonna be go to the south. It's gonna be -1, 0, and with k plus 1. So in this way, we're gonna use all the possible cases, because if this k may be 2 times the maximum of RNC, and then we're gonna have k plus 1. So definitely we're gonna use all the possible cases. Now we're gonna update the start position. So r start gonna plus equal to dr, and c start gonna plus equal to dc. Now we're gonna do what are we gonna do? Yeah, we're gonna check this k. If the step is 2, definitely we're gonna put more values. If the step is 3 or 5, we're gonna put more values. So we're gonna check the steps. So for anything inside of this kind of step, so step gonna be dk. And yeah, I need to put this one inside the for loop. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue to check all the possible places. So this is only one of the places. Now I'm gonna check if it is inside the grid. So if this is inside the grid, I'm gonna control the row and column, right? And the column start, it's gonna be less than the column. Yeah. So if it is inside the boundary, I'm gonna put it inside the result, and it's gonna be a tuple of r start and c start, and then I'm gonna check the result array. If it is equal to r times c, we're gonna return the final result. So let me just type the final result. Yeah, so this is going to be the final answer. As we can see, the code is quite clean. Because we prepared the 4 directions like this, definitely it's going to be 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. And here we're going to make a step of 2. Yeah, only in this way we're going to combine all the different cases. And here we're going to use another trick, because definitely we're going to check the maximum of row and column times 2. This is going to include all the possible cases. Now let me just run it to check if it works. Now as you can see, it works. Now let me just submit it. Now as you can see, it works and it's pretty fast. Now let's just check the time complexity, and this is going to be easy because we just use a for loop. Yeah, so this is for k inside of the range of r, maximum of r and c. maybe we're gonna set it, maximum of R and C, it is 100. And here is just for directions, it is okay. And here is this decay is just another 100. So the time complexity is 100 times 100. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be the maximum of R and C times the maximum of R and C. So I'm gonna use the 100 times 100. So this is why it works. And similarly, the space complexity is also the maximum of R and C times the maximum of R and C. I think that's all about it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.